edition of Training Ground Dispatch here on the SDH Network. I'm Madison Cruz. Joined with me is Jason Longshore as we get you ready for Atlanta United versus New York Red Bulls on Saturday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. A fun matchup, one that's going to bring a lot of thrills, a lot of interesting things to talk about. But before we get to that, here is head coach Ronny Deila and Saba Lobjanidze talking to the media ahead of that match.
I think that's important, especially when we have to play Luis there. That's, it's more as a centre back. And then also have options, because we don't have a lot of injuries, but all our injuries have been on the sides in the fullbacks area. So that's, of course, will give more width in the squad also. They also often get more tired because they run more. Same with the wingers. So to have doubled up in these two positions is key, of course, to keep attacking and keep having good width in our game.
How have you seen the team respond after that match against Charlotte here in training this week?
Very good. It's I said all the time, a fantastic group. So very, very good players also. So, and they know what's happening. And we are not the only team that's going to lose in Charlotte. I'm sure there's a good football team. And we know also that when we are doing things right, we keep making trouble for opponents. So it's a lot of confidence in seeing that we can actually, the two first half, you can say that the second half is not good, but at the same time we show what we are capable to do when we are good. So we just need to have longer periods with that kind of performances.
When you face teams like the Red Bulls that are so intense with their pressure, how important is it for your group to change tempo at times?
It's important. We have to keep out the tempo as well, but we have to. The most important thing is that we are organized. If we start to be 1-1 like we did against Montreal, then we get trouble whoever we play against. But for this game, you have to move the ball quick. You have to break lines also. And you have to switch the play. So it's things that's going to be important inside the game, and it's going to be periods that they are good and we are good, and then it's about controlling, suffer when you need to suffer, and then take advantage of the opportunity when you get them.
How are you enjoying the freedom to be able to cut inside and find space?
Yeah, that's a nice thing, and I have to do more,
And you guys have a lot, I think 5 of the next 6 at home. Just how important is that to protect really the home field advantage? And
Yeah, home game for me is really doesn't matter we play against first place or the last place. We have to go for 3 points for sure. Yeah.
What are the most important things in your mind about getting results at home? What do you have to do well?
Score goals.
Great stuff, I think, from both head coach Ronny Deila and Saba. Just talking a little bit about bouncing back after that 2-0 loss to Charlotte, but then just seeing that consistency play out throughout the entire game.
Yeah, I think this is the first time this season that you kind of feel a little bit of urgency. I think you could feel that with Saba today. I mean, it's business. This is a team that wants to bounce back in a big way against Charlotte, and Ronny Deila said it's been a good week of training. So you have to have these moments early in a season to figure out where you go. I feel like we've had this conversation when we talk college football, sometimes college basketball, with a team that's on an unbeaten run. And if you include preseason, Atlanta United had been on a very good run. Everything had been pretty successful. You have a setback. Sometimes you want that setback earlier rather than later, because you learn from it, you develop, you're able to make changes and adapt. And I think this is a week of that, for Atlanta United. It's an interesting one because the Red Bulls kind of force you to do that anyway. The way that they play, they're going to put you under pressure. They're going to make you uncomfortable. They're going to try to exploit whatever your weaknesses are. Atlanta United has to protect that side of it, look for their opportunities the other way. More than anything, they have to be confident and they have to be brave. And we'll see how that looks on Saturday.
What were some of the things that stuck out to you from what head coach Ronny Deila and Saba had to say about this game in particular, about what they worked on in training? Anything that stuck out to you?
Yeah, some of it's the injury situation. So you're missing Jamal Tiare right now due to a muscle injury. You get Pedro Amador back, which is huge. You're still missing Ronald Hernandez, and you don't get Brooks Lennon back yet. We saw him on Tuesday in the full session, looked great, but you got to remember he's coming back from shoulder surgery, so it's not the same conversation as it is with Pedro, for example. coming back from a muscle injury, you get there, you're ready. When you're talking about coming back from a surgery on more of a bone issue, you got to get cleared to be able to play. And I think that's the issue when it comes to Brooks. He's going to help this group, but Matt Edwards has had a good week of training, according to everyone. And Matt is a guy that, we've gotten to know over the years. He's a very confident young player. He's a very intelligent player. And for as much as I know he was probably frustrated with it, and, you've heard some of the commentary, for as much as that second goal, he makes a mistake, that doesn't wash away the first 45 where he shut down Wilfried Zaha to the point that Zaha's getting frustrated and shoving him. He was so good in the first half. The trick for him is, one, to remember the good, forget the bad, and two, to try to find that way to continue to improve his fitness to the point that he can play 90 minutes at this level at a high level. He's getting there. That's a process. I think he's been far better than bad in these first two games. But he's going to be called upon again, I would assume, in this one. And against the Red Bulls, you can't get caught in possession. You can't get caught out of position. Defensively, not really worried about him. Can he give you a little bit more in the attack? And I think when he did in the first half in Charlotte, the team looked its best. So if he can do that in this one, because there will be spaces to operate in, if he can do that, Atlanta United has a good day on Saturday.
And it's a question mark as well. We did get confirmation that Dominic Chonkwi will be getting another call-up to be on the bench, to be depth for the team. A little unsure how it's going to pan out, especially with Pedro being back in. Is he going to get the start, or is he going to be coming off the bench? We don't know how many minutes he can play. So still a lot of question marks with that, but it was really interesting when I asked Deila about getting Pedro and Brooks back. Just that's going to be huge with the depth, but also, too, you have Saba and Miggy who like to cut and sign a lot. And then you get to see Pedro and Brooks really make the runs in on those sides to help give a lot more space, a lot more players to come in, maybe deliver some crosses in the box, give some more bodies up there in the attack.
Well, you'll get to see half of that this week. You won't get to see Brooks, you'll get to see Pedro. Matt's going to have to provide some of that on the right side. But with Pedro, how long can he go if he starts? Is he available off the bench? We don't really know yet. But I think you got a glimpse of it late in the game in Charlotte when Chonkwi came in. He's a natural left back. He's going to get forward. He created a chance in the short time that he was on the pitch. He is a player who gives you a glimpse. He's not Pedro Amador, but he's more of that profile than even Ronald Hernandez or Luis Abram, who's a center back playing left back. It's not his role. When you're able to stretch even one half of the field a little bit more, you start to look even more dangerous. Saba coming inside, it all starts to connect a little bit better. So you're going to get some of that here. If Matt can give you a little bit more of that on the right, along with Amador for however long he can give you in this match, your attack's going to be even better. And if your attack's even better, then you're more secure defensively. And that's the thing. We can talk about being better defensively, but if you go out, when you're creating all these chances in the first half, if you go out and create even better ones and you score goals, your defense automatically looks better because you're playing with 2-goal leads. That's where you want to be. That's where this team can be. That's where they need to be against the New York Red Bulls.
New York Red Bulls versus Atlanta United at Mercedes-Benz Stadium this Saturday. The game is going to start at 7:30 p.m. The pregame coverage will start at 6:30 p.m. on Star 94. Myself and Abe Gordon will have the pregame show, and then Mike Conti and Jason Longshore will take over at 7:30.